Hey guys, just running a test. Hey Aunt, how are you?
Hi.
Gabriel said hi. Let me see. You guys gotta go. I'm just testing to make sure things are working out. I'm like directly on the YouTube, like in YouTube Studio. I'm going live direct from YouTube Studio from the laptop.
No shit.
Oh, hi Gucci. Hi Mello. Aunt said hi, Gabriel.
Yeah, baby.
You guys see that?
I like this feeling. I like this feeling. I like this feeling. I like this feeling.
Ow.
I am a call me Maleficent. Say I'm Luciferian. My rise is always elephant. Shining like a star while your bars is irrelevant. The only time you fire is when you douse with some kerosene. My flow is lit. Esoteric heroin. Esoteric dopeness. Massive explosion. I levitate on the mic.
Did you hear that?
When I go in, my skin gets crystalline. My eyes start glowing. You are the opposition. I have
Gabriel said this song slaps.
Most exalted. I wonder how I fell down. I got an Uzi sitting back in my compound. I got an ego the size of the demi-urge. Spit my verse in Aramaic. Trade from uniform. I take off like a jet. I'm flying like a unicorn. Watch these bitches come off my orgasm.
Who's ready for Friday? Who's ready for tomorrow? Like tomorrow, you guys, like at this time tomorrow, you guys will have watched the battle between Mallow 1-5 versus Sasuke Fame, 2 rounds, dropping it tomorrow, 1 p.m. You guys will be voting at this time tomorrow.
I move so intriguingly. I jump through wormholes, move up to hyperspeed, chilling comfy in my vessel, move close in 3D, butt naked, smoking hashies in a teepee. I drink this shit up like it's strawberry kiwi. Landed on the planet, park my spaceship in Fiji. I conjure up light bodies moving like it's Ouija. First I walk on water, then I parted on the Red Sea. Mix a potion in the ocean, sipping on some herb tea. Lever rice, chorus sun, Jim Boom, Pat 3, Morning Star, first created, God's first MC. Bitches shake their asses when they verse fall empty. Energy they moon, lyrical Kanye Shinte. My lane you wanna hit, babe, boom, and miss it. Slice a big rock like
I was actually trying to test out. I have a webcam.
I'm the fire truck to come and put these little whores out. Everyone at attention, Dragon Lair in the building. Line up in position, I can't direct no sneak dissing. Try to where you host, but you dumb bitches never listen. I'm the judge saying I'm just caught a life sentence. Open up the portal and I walk through. Literally, if you want that power, then you conjure up energy. All that bullshit is a past, just a memory. Don't worry about the fee, this one's complimentary.
What's goody? So yeah, I am so sleepy too. I didn't get home till 4 in the morning.
Since his escape, Quan Chi has unlocked the secret of the ancient Moon Star. Discovered the ancient undefeatable army.
I didn't get home till 4 in the morning. So yeah, that's what I'm trying to do. I'm like testing. I thought I was gonna I thought I was hooked up to my cam here.
With their combined strength,
so I got this in today. My camera.
The only two things who could
I have to set it up. I have to go into the settings and set it up.
Yeah, baby. Energy, they more. I scratch a lot, Pop that shit up in the parking lot. Real gang, so I don't really talk a lot. Pull up on my nigga, we can link in the parking lot. I mean, goddamn, we already in your parking spot. Burn your fucking face off. Bitch, I said his face off. Where's my fucking chainsaw? Cause I'm about to massacre. Asked where his wife was. I said I just passed her. Look at this great gift that God just gave her. Now what to brag about? I got so much to brag about. Such a bad bitch that I'm leaving with your daddy house. I am off a cruise ship. Oops, I'm in a ghost ship. Now I got a battleship. Watch how I do this. Just got an ounce of pure. Meet me at the sunset. About to make a killer and it ain't even one yet. Damn, your girl a beast with it. You below average. In case you ain't heard, I'm a motherfucking savage. Is that your mixtape? Let me show you where the trash is. You bitches is my sons and I slaughter rap bastards. Why you like a devil dogs? I can smell your bullshit. I'm the GOAT goddess. I'm spitting from the pulpit. Rap GOAT goddess. I'm flowing with this energy. Push against the universe. I'm working with the synergy. I am a hustler. Esoteric hustler. Catch me in a day mood. Got so many demons. Reach me like a semen. Follow like a legion.
Damn, I got a lot of work done up in here.
Exterminate your region. I am not an earth nigga. I just crash man. I'm gonna say that damn it. It's time to run your planet. Dark man exit. I'm about to exit. Okay, earthlings, hostile music. Dark man exit. I'm about to exit. Bitch, I'm still young and the kid's still restless. Zodiac killer. Take you out in infamy. It's a lot of us. Which one of me you wanna see? Electricity. On the pinch when I'm writing. Make a bum bitch suck a whole fucking life in. I am so sexy. I wanna smack my own ass. But I'm so cheap. I don't wanna spend my own cash. What you see is what you get. I am so benevolent. Bitches can't get with this. I write my own greatest hits.
I thought I wasn't going to be allowed to live stream since I don't have 1,000 subs on this channel.
For homicide detectives,
Does anybody know why this is happening? I mean, I'm not complaining.
their chance of solving the murder is cut in half if they don't get a lead within
I
the
want
first 48 hours.
system preferences, maybe. I don't know if they could still see me. Fuck. Let's see.
It's esoteric royalty. J-Move, eat a savage up. It's the call of Cthulhu. My energy powerful, mistaken for that voodoo. They said I was a witch when I possessed Shaka Zulu. If do what I will, it's the whole of the law. My ego offset and my soul take off. Lock the shit up like I'm in Shake Shaw. Redemption, not even your goddess from exemption. Looking in the mirror and I'm
I feel like, you know,
self-anointed God, I'm far more superior. I carve on my
trying to put this,
fire breathing,
trying to find out, I'm trying to connect this,
God made a lie, egotistical. Can't see the light because you ain't part of the visual. Got a whole covenant, we all imperial. No, I'm not the Carter, but I do go fake shit. Meet me at the crossroads and walk 7 paces. Say the magic words if you're trying to trade places. Standing in the corridor for new moon
my
faces.
son is over here like dancing, getting it in day.
That whole ocean out, earth, air, water, fire, crashing on your empire, rolling up an L, and I burn it with my hellfire. Walked into Salem and caused mass hysteria, sent a whole legion to blast up your area. Called the blood countess when I rolled with Daria. I turned into dragon, let's slice up your trachea. Into Akhenaten to give you King Tut. I wasn't gone from the heavens, I left cause I ain't give a fuck. Energy day move, lyrical deity, lyrical dope, elevate your mind spiritually. Sit at the table and I eat your whole family. Watch how you move, I'm a whole living entity. Last thing you're gonna see is giving up this energy. I walk between the worlds because I'm gifted at the sensory. Now refrain from talking when I give my commission speech. Energy, yeah.
This is not it. Accessibility. Applications. Let's see. Sorry guys, I'm just doing some. I'm trying to get into this camera. Does it even matter? Huh.
No shit. NRG Day Moon. Dragon's Lair Entertainment.
Yeah, baby. I like this feeling. I like this feeling. I like this feeling. I am a beast. Call me maleficent. They say I'm Luciferian. My rhymes is always hella sick. Shining like a star while your bars is irrelevant. The only time you fire is when you douse with some kerosene. My flow is lit. Esoteric heroin. Esoteric dopeness. Massive explosion. I levitate on the mic, bitch. When I go in, my skin gets crystalline. My eyes start glowing. You are the opposition. I have no competition. I stand tall on the ground with my hell house. Most exalted. I wonder how I fell down. I got a Uzi sitting back in my compound. I got an ego the size of the demi-urge. Spit my verse in Aramaic. Translate from uniform. I take off like a jet. I'm flying like a unicorn. Watch these bitches come off my orgasmic ear porn. Sunshine in the day. Watch my lyrics glisten. Moonshine when I rhyme slide in position. I'm a beast with these bars. Surgical precision. Most ancient energy popping since BCE. I'm like the devil. Even if you don't believe in me, I'm guaranteeing one day you motherfuckers seeing me. Let my wings spread as I move so increasingly. You all stare blindly while I move so intriguingly. I jump through wormholes, move up to hyperspeed, chilling comfy in my vessel, move close in 3D. Butt naked, smoking hashies in a teepee. Now drink this shit up like it's strawberry kiwi. Landed on your planet, park my spaceship in Fiji. I conjure up light bodies moving like it's Ouija. First I walk the water, then I parted on the Red Sea. Mix a potion in the ocean, sipping on some herb tea. Leaving right, chorus sun, gem boom, path 3. Morning star first created, God's first MC. Bitches shake their asses when they words fall empty. Energy J Moon, lyrical Kanye Shinte. My lane you wanna hit, big movement. Slice a bitch up like I'm Dragon Leia Sensei. These really want the whole selling pussy in a whorehouse. I'm the fire truck that come and put these little whores out. Everyone at attention, Dragon Leia in the building. Line up in position, I can't direct no sneak dissing. Try to where you host, but you dumb bitches never listen. I'm the judge, say your honor, just caught a life sentence. Open up the portal and I walk through, literally. If you want that power, then you conjure up energy. All that bullshit is a past, it's a memory. Don't worry about the fee, this one's complimentary.
Let's see. Hi guys, sorry, I'm just trying to oh, my lights started to stop moving. Sorry. I'm doing this light show over here. Here we go. There we go, there we go. Got some lights going.
With their combined strength,
flashing lights.
To overpower the only.
Let's see, use a network hub router or switch. You can connect your computer.
Yeah, baby. Energy, day more.
Let's see. Wow, it's a very short live. I'm like directly in.
So I don't really talk a lot. Pull up on my nigga. We can link in the parking lot. I mean, goddamn, we already in your parking spot. Burn your fucking face off. Bitch, I said his face off. Where's my fucking chainsaw? Cause I'm about to massacre. Asked where his wife was. I said I just blasted her. Look at this great gift that God just gave her. Now what to brag about? I got so much to brag about. Such a bad bitch that I'm leaving with your daddy house. I am off a cruise ship. Oops, I'm at a ghost ship. Now I got a battleship. Watch how I do this. Just got an ounce of pure. Meet me at the sunset. About to make a killer in it. Ain't even one yet. Damn, your girl a beast with it. You below average. In case you ain't heard, I'm a motherfucking savage. Is that your mixtape? Let me show you where the trash is. You bitches is my
I see why it did that.
Why you like a devil does? I can smell your bullshit. I'm the goat goddess who's spitting from the pulpit. Rap goat goddess, I'm flowing with this energy. Push against the universe, I'm working with the synergy. I am a hustler, esoteric hustler. Catch me in a day move. Got so many
demons.
Reach me
I see me
follow
like a legion.
all my X-Men, exterminate your region. Eliminator, Earth, make I just crash, man. I'm gonna say that, Jimmy. You try to run your planet.
I'm trying to read and connect and do all this stuff. I'm sorry. Just bear with me.
I'm about to exit. Bitch, I'm still young and the kid's still restless. Zodiac killer, take you out in infamy. It's a lot of us. Which one of me you wanna see? Electricity. I'm the pinch when I'm writing. Make a bum bitch. Chuck a whole fucking life in. I am so sexy. I wanna smack my own ass, but I'm so cheap. I don't wanna spend my own cash. What you see is what you get. I am so benevolent. Bitches can't get with this. I write my own greatest hits.
Well done. Excellent.
Close this.
For homicide detectives, the clock starts ticking.
I'm
The
hungry.
men are called. Their chance of solving a murder is cut in half if they don't get a lead within the first 48 hours.
Okay, let's do that. Let me see. Let me go into. Damn it, man. All right, I'm getting frustrated. What is this?
What do you want to eat?
No, just the leftovers from yesterday's lunch.
I have no competition. I stand tall on the ground. Mostly haunted. I wonder how I fell down. I got a OC city back in my compound. I got an ego the size of the Jimmy Earth. My first aeroplane translate from uniform. I take off like a jet. I'm flying like the uniform. Watching my artist. All my orgasms here for an artist. Sunshine in the day. Moonshine when I find my imposition. I'm a beast and keep our surgical precision. Most energy, opposite BCE. I'm like the devil, even if you don't believe in me. I'm guaranteed one day you motherfuckers seeing me. Never be spread as I move so much recently. You all stare blank while I move so intriguingly. I drop the wormhole, move up to hyperspeed. Chilling comfy in my vessel, move close to 3D. Black naked, smoking ass cheese. I drip this shit up like a strawberry kiwi. Landed on the planet, park my spaceship in Fiji. Body's moving like it's Ouija. Then I poured it on the Red Sea. Sipping on some Pepsi. God's first MC. Energy Day Moon. Miracle Connection Day. I'm the judge saying I'm just caught on my senses. Holding up the court and I walk through. Literally, if you want that power, then you conjure up energy.
Yeah, I'm kind of burning up. I just put in the wood first.
Sorry, guys.
Or tell us to do this backwards. You know what I mean? And so this matrix is made out of deception. That means that it's more than one God. You can't even tell people that without them getting upset. You can't when you
Get in
hear
there.
God, you gotta remember as above, so below. So let's just start like this. If your mom was the God and she was the first one, she created you. Boom, second God. Let's say you're the angel. Okay? And then you
All right. I don't know what I'm doing apparently.
People don't get this one source, multiple attributes. So they gotta understand that at some point, and that's when we talk about the divas, and we talk about, the divas, the old ones, and the new demigods, or whatever you talk about. We're talking about the same type of thing.
All right, I
What
have
they
to
gotta
look this up.
understand is that there are energy sources who are indeed here to usurp your energy. Now, do I call them good and evil? No, because that's human thinking. And when it comes to magic and sorcery, you can't think like a human. And I think that's why it's perceived as evil. Does that mean you go out and kill a lady? Hell the fuck not. That's what that means to you. And you just fucking need mental health immediately.
That's so fast. That's so fast.
So it's like, let's give an example. Somebody hit me up the other day and was like, yo, I want to do da-da-da-da-da. Do I need to sacrifice chicken?
Where was that? Where? Oh no, I just saw
I was like, if you
something.
want to go sacrifice chicken, go ahead. Like first of all, I'm not here to tell you what's right and wrong. But I'm saying, well, should you sacrifice chicken every time your ass goes to KFC? Oh. So it's the way that we look at it, because honestly, my father is Blackfoot Indian, and when our ancestors sacrificed chicken, we used every part of that body, every part, including the bone. You know what I mean? We would make necklaces out of it. We gotta think the animal would sacrifice his life to give us substances. What people don't understand is that this whole world is actually vampiric and it's fucking flawed by design. And that means that the creator who created it is flawed. Because in a perfect utopia, I don't need to kill or eat shit to survive. Because what they don't understand is that everything in this matrix is alive, including a piece of paper you write on, the flower that you think is not alive for all you vegans and vegetarians. These are all life sources. And you think just because you're eating, vegetables and this and that instead of meat, that you're not getting bad downloads and this and that. Nonsense. Nonsense. Because you could be eating a grape that's not even a grape because it's been genetically modified. It has no seeds. You can't reproduce it. Even if it has seeds, you still have to grow it to be sure that it's a grape, because some fruits produce.
All right, let's look up. How do we
How
connect
do you know it's a
that?
grape if it doesn't have seeds? How is it a watermelon if it doesn't have seeds? It's genetically modified, just like you and I. We're the real artificial
Oh, is
intelligence.
there?
We're the real artificial intelligence.
Wow, that's
RoboCop is artificial intelligence. Nah, bro, we are. See, people don't understand it. They tell you what something is and we believe it. We grab onto it and hold onto it. Nigga, that wasn't a chair until somebody told you it was a chair. If I would have raised you and said, this is a spaceship, you would have grown up going, this is a spaceship, and you would believe it. Shit, you might be able to fly in it. Because our imagination is way more powerful. Our subconscious is way more powerful. Yeah.
Man, that, you know what, and what I love about you and your passion and the way that you express yourself, you know what I'm saying? Like, I can definitely tell that you tap in. You tap into something that is
So then I need
something that
to.
means something to you. You believe in the things
Where's
that
your
you're saying.
website?
So with that belief comes these breaks, these transformational times, these aha moments, the clicks, I like to call it. You know what I'm saying? How have you dealt with some of those, just managing those
I'm
breaks? How do
exhausted,
you-
guys.
Because where you're at, your level of thinking is not normal. You know what I'm saying? So how do you manage it?
Sometimes it's out of me. Like, one of the biggest struggles of my life right now is the
I misquake. I looked at all of them and I knew which one was the right one. I just misquoted.
To me, the calendar is my life, son. I go to Good Days calendar every day, but not just Good Days calendar. But I got my favorite astrologers from the race. Yeah, I was in and get my natal, and it was like this. It was like, yo, we've been here since for over 9.8 billion years.
Okay.
There's options here that we don't even know we tapped into.
Where's your website?
I was
No,
like,
thank you.
it said there's options, which when I mean options, I mean plans out there that we can source energy from that we don't even know. We don't even know exist. It's like they just talking about the D room, which niggas we tapped into.
Are you good?
I was like, it said there's options, which when I mean options, I mean plans out there that we receive source energy from that we don't even know. We don't even know exists. It's like they just talking about the D room, which niggas think they know something because they be like, oh, well, you know, him and know about it. Yeah, but you didn't know what it was until somebody told you that's an ingredient. Dang it. But my saying that is, source was letting me know when it comes down to this is all a matrix. So you can't say this is a matrix and everything is in it fake. But the plans that you're looking out at ain't. you're still giving power to something outside of yourself to dictate it. And Source really wants me to really be like, you know, all the planetary alignments are really inside of you. For all that shit that you looking outside of you to kind of gain strength. You know, some days I might not do nothing if I got lightning bolt in the way. That kind of thing. You know what I mean? A limit or a restriction that I put on myself because I want to say a part of this is real, but this part ain't. But this part is, but this part ain't. That's what a lot of people like to do. That's what I know it's like in the conscious community. I don't even know a lot of people because they'll be like, I touch base with my African roots. What? They do. They say, but then they go, but, you know, I still believe in God and da-da-da-da-da. And there's nothing wrong with that. But that already shows that you're placing a limitation and a restriction on yourself, that you're really not in touch because you got to justify it with that but. It's never a but. It's kind of like you believe that they're right. Yeah, they can't trick us, but it's not
I put the wrong
true.
thing. I put that.
I don't want to go to hell. When in all reality, you are Satan. You know what I mean? That's why your number is 666, 6 carbons, 6 protons, 6 electrons equals the atom, the atom, the almond rock.
Yeah, you need to get out of here, please. I'm working.
And so we're afraid of ourselves. So we put it like that.
Come on, computer.
So let me ask you this. because
I
what
think
you're
I'm gonna have
saying
to
is
restart
information.
YouTube. This
You know
tab
what I'm saying?
is using
And
the camera or
if I
microphone.
was one who was
Okay,
listening, right?
but
and I'm like, man, she's really going in. She talking like
let's
she
try this again.
believes in what she says, and that she sees something outside of the normal way of thinking in
It's not
society.
working. I
Okay?
have
So
to.
if I'm that
I'm gonna
person,
end this
and I wanna
and
know
then
more
I'll
about
come
Daylon
back.
and the way
I'm
that
gonna
she
try
thinks
again.
and how she got to be.
I'm trying to
where
connect
she's
this
at.
webcam, guys.
What
I'll be
advice
back.
would you give me?
Sorry, my hair's like crazy right now.
I would, you know, the whole thing is I would just learn as much as I can in the way which is best for you to learn. That don't necessarily mean reading books. You know what I mean? It's a difficult process to gauge. I think you should always get as much information as you can. I personally prefer more of the older teachers than the so-called new teachers. But then on top of that, you have to actually be able to ask the question you want to know, meditate, and wait to get the answer from source. See, a lot of people don't really know how to decipher when they're getting real information because you think that every bit of information you're going to get is going to be from a book. And this is what I call Sophia energy. There's a knowing energy too. So
Please
you can
download
meet two
the
people
PC client.
and they can be like, yo, I read this grimoire and this is how you do this spell. And you can meet somebody who's been like, I never read a grimoire, but this is how you do this spell. And the person who never read the book actually gives you better information than the person that read the book. And you say, well, how is that possible? And that's possible because what we seem to forget is that these books are written by somebody. So that's just their personal way of doing it. It's a trial by error process. The motherfucker who made a cookie didn't know it was a cookie until it was done because they took some flour and they took, you know what I mean, some baking powder, and then they put some butter and they made a dough. They probably made a sugar cookie first. And then it evolved into a chocolate chip cookie. And then they wrote a recipe and they put it in a book and they gave it to you. And it was good. Like we just wrote a whole Bible. You know what I'm saying? And I know the way that I talk is weird and I hope people are kind of getting what I'm saying. So for example, you might, you know, suffer from heartburn while Prilosec works for this person, you know what I mean? Pepto-Bismol is going to work for them, but this person just chews on a certain leaf that they found, and that leaf gives them relief, and they don't know what the name of it is. They just go up to somebody else and say, this is a leaf that you could chew that'll give you relief. This is how all of this started. We seem to have forgotten to get back how to get back to the basics. Everything that somebody gives you has got to be taught to you by somebody else. I don't see no originality when it comes to spirituality. Personally, not much. Let me put it like that. I see, you know, the greats, we don't even have to name them because we all know who they are. And honestly, it could be somebody who you never heard of. I see people who literally got 10 subscribers. One of the best readers that I've met online, she don't even do reads. She actually found my page. Shout out to Goddess Supreme. She found my page and left me a message like, yo, you're my sister. And I was like, what? She was like, email me. You know what I mean? And I emailed her, and it's been on and popping ever since, simply because, like you say, when you start talking to somebody and they got knowledge, they got it. I asked her, I was like, yo, why don't you do reads and get your page popping? And she was like, yo, that's not my job. My job is to find individuals like you and further activate you. Now, isn't that something? That's when you know the real ones. When you think about it and they talk about this Illuminati and this and that, you never see them. You never really see who they actually are. They claim it's the 5% and the Bilderbergers, but it's even somebody behind them. You know why? Because people who are in real power don't know no fucking credibility. They don't want you to know who they are. You will never see them. You will never see them. The people who don't got real power, but they ego driven, they want you to see them all the time, but they want to pretend like they're not in it for the ego. But then they tell you to kill your fucking ego. I cringe when people say that. I cringe. I swear to God, because you know what people don't understand is, first of all, every concept that we get from ego about ego were literally written by what we call psychologists or voodoo, because that's all voodoo is the study of the mind, the study of psychology. How do you trick somebody into believing that they got more power than you? That you have to mess with their psychology. Okay. Now the point in me saying that is, I lost my thought. It's really fun. What was I just saying?
No, that was good. You saying how some people don't. They want to kill the ego.
Oh.
They want to try to kill the ego, but that's not
And if
possible.
you start actually going back with ego is something that you're supposed to work with. How do you kill a part of you that's actually meant to save you? The problem with you niggas and women, and it don't matter what it is.
People
I
are so funny.
The problem with most people is that they let the ego take over, which is not what it's supposed to do. But you don't never kill no part of you, because you need all of it to be the best of who you are. You know what I'm saying? And the ego is really there to protect you. Your ego, and that's why some people can't understand it. It comes up to protect you, but then they allow it to take over. To a part where it becomes toxic.
Okay, which one is this?
But the ego is actually what activates depression. And depression is what actually saves your life. If you look at what depression is actually meant to do, it's meant to save your life. And that's why some people stop eating and things like that. It's your body actually activating chemicals. Now, it doesn't feel good. You're supposed to get out of that depression at a certain point in time. But some people, unfortunately, die too deep in those waters and end up getting lost in the current, swept under the current, or, in fact, drowned in the current.
Wow. Hey, that's a great breakdown. That's a wonderful breakdown. And you said something that was so interesting.
Let me see which camera. Webcam cannot
My thing
recognize.
is, one of my biggest questions is,
German,
how do we
English
balance this
version.
thing? Okay? Because we understand that we're light beings, and we understand
Which
that
one
this
is
is
this
a
one?
spiritual experience, right? But we're here in this physical matrix, like you said, or this physical realm. How do we balance? The spiritual and the physical successfully? You know what I'm saying? How do we do that? And what are your tips on doing that?
In the words of Brother Panic, just don't give up. And it's so funny because I've been listening to him for literally 15 years. And that's why, to me, when I listen to people now who are on these channels, they're like, yo, I watch this brother. I've been watching Brother Panic since that nigga was taking a bus. Just to give you a clue. Look how big he is now. He ain't taking no buses no more. I used to listen to him when he used to take the bus. There was even a point where I stopped listening to him, and then I came back to him. You know what I mean? Because you're constantly evolving. You're constantly going through different phases. And it's so funny, but it's hard to stay balanced when you're trying to worry about Black Lives Matter. And that's some whole fake shit. And I'm not even talking about the fact that
This is 102.
It's about Antifa.
Webcam
There's no real such thing as that. And I'm not saying these ain't important things. See, that's the balance that people struggle with. Well, how do you mean it's not important? People getting killed by cops every day. Like, what kind of person does that make you? I'm not a person, I'm a God. I can't be concerned with this shit. You know what I'm saying? Well, you get your day, one day it's gonna be you, and I'm not gonna go right for you. Well, then fucking don't. Moving on. You know what I'm saying? You really gotta be, and that was hard for me to get to that point. Because how do you stay balanced on the inside? If I walk past somebody who's hungry, am I gonna stop and be like, well, what color are you first? Because your motherfucking ancestors did it. Nah, because then you're stuck in a time continuum. And you can't be a part of none of that shit if you're after real spirituality, because it's all a distraction, as painful as that is. Everything is a fucking distraction. I hate saying that, but it's true. You have to be very careful when it comes to family, your children, your mama, your brother, your best friend, your associates, all that shit outside of you. I'm a mom because I choose to be a mom. See, that's why people get caught up. How can people hurt kids and all this? And I'm not saying it's good or bad or none of that shit. But why the fuck are you worried about it? You have to just worry about what's right there in the world that you're creating. If you can help save somebody, then that's great. But I see empaths every day who get turned into evil empaths. That's worse than a fucking devil because they don't know how to control their emotions. So it starts off that you're an empath, and every time you walk into a room, you feel everybody's emotions. You feel all these depression. You think it's your own. You start dealing with a lot of narcissists because empaths attract narcissists naturally because they're your opposite. You get in relationships, you try to save them, you try to save the world. You become that dark ass lady from the X-Men who be walking around with those black ass eyes just destroying the whole world. You have to stay balanced by being happy on the inside. I think I talked about this in a bunch of short clips and a lot of people don't know what I'm saying. You see, I say that because a lot of people are trying to manifest in this interview right now. This is great manifestation interview, even though we're experiencing a lot of loss. Loss is nothing but death. Death is nothing but a door to transformation. That's all that is. How you choose to go through that door is up to you. And it's crazy because
probably it was beautiful last night.
You want to,
Big and
like, well, I can't align. And I'm like, well, you can align, but the problem is you can't hold the resonation. You can't just align with a vibration for an hour and think that you're now about to get abundance. It don't work like that. You have to stay balanced, and that's the hard part about people is staying balanced because they have a lot of cognitive dissonance. See, when it comes to
blue
people,
moon on
especially
Halloween, I
people of
think.
color,
Watch.
because
The 2020 harvest moon will reach its peak at 10:05 p.m. BST on Thursday, 1st October, but will continue to appear full through Saturday morning. So yeah, it started last night, like early in the morning.
They're not concerned about shit that goes on Earth. They're not concerned
It gets
about
its name for being the closest full moon to the autumn equinox, which was traditionally around harvest time. So there is an autumn equinox. Around harvest time in the northern hemisphere.
Say a parent who dies and their kid is addicted to drugs. That parent is now in a whole nother universe where they're not worried about none of that shit. They're not looking at you like, damn, I can't believe you down there smoking crack. When
the next blue moon will come October 31st, 2020. It's being called a blue moon because it'll be the second of two full moons in a single calendar month.
That's not good.
So that's what a blue moon is. A blue moon is two full moons in 1 month. So it doesn't mean that the moon is.
You're giving it human attributes. That's what makes you a human. You're talking about a totally different energy. It don't experience good and evil and happy and
so
sad.
that whole
And
saying
that's
once
why
in a
it gets
blue moon
distorted
is
and looked
actually
at as
quite
evil.
often.
It's just pure commodity
Very
that you can tap into and you use it for your benefit. It's through us that gives forth humanity,
I finally
not
finished this
reverse.
I fixed the hood of the car.
So you got to
release
stay
light.
I'm
balanced
still
on
on.
the inside, and that shit don't got nothing to do
Sorry,
with your book.
I do want to
It
listen,
don't got
but
nothing
not
to do
while
with
everybody
what
else
you
is
eat. And
listening.
honestly, when you are happy, truly happy, you're happy with your family, you're happy with your job, you're happy with the food that you produce, you're happy inside, you automatically start to be happy every day. Your will automatically start aligning. When you align with a certain vibration, abundance reigns on you. I don't know if it makes sense the way that I just explained it. You notice that when you when you're depressed, you start calling energy. You actually can call it to you. See, people think that, let's just say for a better term, angels and demons, because that's really the same fucking thing. Okay? Matter of fact, angels is almost worse than demons because an angel is a soldier. It's there to carry out an action. If you look at the actual, and we just talk about energy, we talk about positive neutrons. You talk about light angles / angels that hit you with, certain thoughts. Because people think that all thoughts are their own, and they're not. They're not. We just choose to resonate with them or we don't.
Damn it, man.
So when we deal with all these different energies and we don't have a proper understanding of, that's why I call myself energy day more. And a lot of people don't understand that a demon now is not what a demon was in antiquity. You actually needed your guardian demon as much as you needed your guardian angel. And when you send an email and it says failure sent to Damon, okay, which is actually your inner genius, which a lot of people are afraid of demons, okay? You know what I'm saying? But you have to remember that what people think, it has nothing to do with you. You have to remember that we can't control what people think or what they do to us. We can only control what we do and how we
So that's not the one.
And that's how you start to walk on water. The sad part about this process is that a lot of people go through it. Many will not succeed. This is mystery school. This is my school. You got your school. We all gonna go through it. Not everybody's gonna graduate. I get a lot of errors, so sometimes it's like scrambling, or I go on and I apologize. That's because I get hit with so many angles. I start to get so many downloads at once. I start to talk back and try to get it all out because I don't want to forget it.
No, it's wonderful, and you breaking down a lot of powerful and great information. You know what I'm saying? And I love it. I love it. So let me ask you this: we're in this physical realm, okay? We're dealing with spirituality. We're dealing with this physical world, right? And we're talking about balancing these energies and balancing the spiritual and physical. So let me ask you this, Dave, because we are here in the physical, so that means we're dealing with emotions, right? What are some good tips, or what are some things that people can do to have an outlet, to create an outlet for that emotion? I know for me and you, we like to do videos, we like to do music. You know what I'm saying? Speak on that, because you know what I'm saying, you do music and you do a form of hypnosis, which I love. You know what I'm saying? My flow is lit. That's esoteric heroin. You feel me? That's what you say. Bars. You know what I'm saying? So give a breakdown of how you use your outlets and what are some good outlets people can actually.
So this is gonna be some crazy stuff real quick. First of all, the interesting thing about it, I told you this whole reality is a deception. So this reality is not actually reality. So researchers are finding, and actually in ancient spirituality, it was taught that when you sleep, that's the real reality. When you're awake, you're actually sleeping, and we think this is reality. I'm not talking about matrix shit. I'm talking about when you go to bed at night and you sleep. They average that. The average human, if you live about 67 years, like that, you're actually only alive 7 years, because that's the hours of sleep. And so that's just one thing, because this is how far this shit goes. But when it comes to emotions, the best way, and this is where people make a lot of mistakes when I say don't go to all these different gurus and try to figure out what's best for you. That's why I was mad when Shorty was like, stop putting so much stock into astrology, because really, astrology is like my Achilles heel. But know thyself. So when people say know thyself, they go, what do you mean? And I even mentioned this in my song. I'm a Taurus sun, I'm a Libra rising, and I'm a Gemini moon. And so what that means is that I best communicate, and I can be attacked, and I can grow through air. Gemini, that's the air principality. So that's through what I hear and what I put out through my eyes, because I'm a Libra. No, so I mean all that to say is that when you have to figure out who you are, because your sun is your ego.
So how do
your
I
rising
go
is who you are, and your moon is how you react to things. A lot of people don't even know the basis of that breakdown. It's your rising is who you are. Your sun is just how you want people to see you, but that's not how you are. That's your ego. And your moon is how you react to stuff. So you have to analyze that and analyze what principalities, like, are you cardinal fire? Are you cardinal water? Are you cardinal air? Because this is the way that you are going to be able to best control your emotions. If you're somebody who deals with perception, I'm going to use a Leo, for example. I'm going to use Leos, for example.
All right.
Leos, they judge and pick their friends based upon how people can treat them, how they feel, like what they see. So they can see you talking to somebody and you can look at them a certain way and they think that look is funny. So they're going to think like you over there talking about it, because they think you looking at them like, yo, why you got that slide grin on it? You know when somebody's being grimy, hands rubbed. And so the whole thing is, now that you know that about yourself, because the problem with that is that's not only the power, but that's how you're attacked. So you perceive me as making this grimy smile, but it was really just something in my tooth, and I was adjusting it. to get the kernel of popcorn out my tooth. But now you got a whole problem with you and your emotions. So you have to realize that if you're bothered by things that affect you by the way you see, you got to be careful about how you're perceiving it. How are you perceiving it? Because what we got to understand is we think that we're looking at shit just directly, but it actually, our eyes, when we hit it, it goes in backwards and it projects out to us in a different way. So everything you're looking at is upside down. If you actually go look at the mechanics of how it looks, you have to kind of analyze that. I would tell people when it comes to emotions, you can't just look at the emotion standing in front of it. You got to lift it up and look under it. You got to walk around it. You got to fly over it. You know what I mean? You got to become water and fucking be fluid with it. And then you have to learn how to love in a Scorpio way. You have to learn how to stay grounded in a Taurus way. You actually have access to every zodiacal sign and more. I don't know if that makes sense because it's so much information. But the main thing to remember is that this is not real. And it's kind of hard because I hate to tell people the main thing that you got to learn to do, and I have a problem with this myself, is learn how to control your emotions. And I've noticed that, like, you know, just looking back on retrospect, like, wow, this person said that, and I thought they meant that, but they really didn't mean that. You can't even do that until you go and you look back at it. You walk on water, because when you know that about yourself, you can then stand in that moment and analyze the situation. That takes time. That takes practice. That takes a skill called mindfulness. And I learned that skill by studying psychology and therapy. And I think that's a big problem in a lot of communities of color because we're not taught how to really solve problems in a way that is beneficial to us, our soul, our body. You know what I mean? Somebody hurts us, we about to go get a 40, we about to go get some weed. We might go get worse, we might go do worse. Somebody hurt me, I'm about to go hurt somebody. We don't say, let me take a walk and work through these emotions and let them hit every chakra, which is Lilith energy. Okay, because when you hear Lilith, you are the dark core, the slut, the devil's wife. It's like, nah, that's not what that was. So you thinking in human terms again. You're not looking at it from a metaphysical standpoint. The first child that you ever give birth to is a thought form. So when they say that they're allowed to kill 1,000 of her children a day, they're talking about light angels, thought forms, not real babies or demons or whatever they want you to think. Like, people need to go realize that this information has been so distorted that is damn near useless in the way in which they want you to learn and utilize it. That's why a lot of people are still suffering. That's why you're praying every day and you're not getting any relief. That's what made me start to go outside of Christianity. I was going through so many hellish states. I was so depressed. I was like, yo, I'm praying every day, 2, 3, 4, 5 times a day. I know my Bible from right to left. Look at all these highlighted pages. What's up, God? Why hast thou forsaken me? Which he never did. Source, whatever it was, it never did. You know what I mean? It was like, I gave you the keys to the palace, but I can't open the door for you.
That's powerful, Dave. Let me ask you this, and because do you believe that your making music is a creative outlet for you? Do you feel that we need to create things to have an outlet? You know what I'm saying? Like us as people, you know what I'm saying? Is that something that's in us? Because if we take a look at everything and everybody, man, I've listened to 1,000 lectures, you know what I'm saying? And one thing that they have in common is they always refer to entertainment. You know, what is it about entertainment that attracts us, you know? And what's interesting is because I was watching Remember the Times, right? I showed my wife the video the other day, and I was just, you know, I used to love this video as a kid. You know, I love Michael Jackson. You know what I'm saying? But just the beginning part, Michael Jackson was that deal. But just the beginning part of the video, I never understood until I just recently watched it. And what was interesting is that the pharaoh and the queen was sitting in their thrones, and then she said to Eddie Murphy, who was playing Pharaoh Ramsey, she said, "Entertain me. I'm bored. How can my Pharaoh entertain me?" What is it about entertainment that is key or is necessary for us? Because it's always around. I've heard Panic talk about certain celebrities, Bobby talk about certain celebrities, Phil talk about certain celebrities, Brother Richard Shamp. Everybody talks about celebrities. They related to celebrities.
You are
So what is it?
talking about Amuse. Have you ever heard?
Let's go. What is about this? I've heard about the term. Break it down.
What it is something that actually is able to spark creativity in me. And you know, it's funny because look how entertainment has evolved. At the beginning,
Hold on, Dad. You went out.
something where we actually, let me see, can you hear me better now?
Yeah, I
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Let me just try to stand here. Okay, so you know, Amuse is something that really gives us inspiration. Back in the day, Amuse would have been a flower or things like that, what they looked at as entertainment, you know, and even if you go back to like court days, they always had a gesture and things like that. I believe that me personally, I always have to be creating something. I always have to be creating something. I do feel like we do need to be creating things. What I think it is, and I know that this doesn't really tie into it, but I think we need a source because, you know, a lot of people don't understand why we actually dealt with hieroglyphics. And I know this might not sound like it ties in, but they were able to look at the pictures, and the pictures automatically process your subconscious mind. I always tell people that we do have a modern day version of hieroglyphics. We watch it on TV and we call it television. And we watch TV shows. And that shit hits subconscious way quicker than it hits your conscious. And, you know, it's just that the hieroglyphs talks now. Because those are actors and actresses, you know what I mean? What they're doing right there is not how they necessarily might interact with you if they wasn't on TV. That's why people get their heart broke when they meet their celebrity, their favorite celebrity in real life. And so I mean that to say is I think that we need entertainment because that is a way in which our subconscious is almost sparked up like a lightning bolt to be able to hit. That's why I always tell people do visual work before anything. And it's funny because we call it entertainment, but you got to look at the breakdown of that word, enter. So something's entering, and then tain, as in containing it. But where? Where? You know what I'm saying? Where are you containing it? And so, you know, I don't know if that makes sense because I actually, that's a question that actually kind of stopped me. But I really
That's
do.
perfect.
I really
That's perfect.
feel like that's what that's about. You know what I mean? And that's why I feel like they use this shit to get us. That's why they do have shows like Love and Hip Hop and things like that. It hits you as a hieroglyphic that speaks because you get the visual, but now you get something to hit your conscience all at once. You used to have to look at a picture, and the picture is the visual. And the visual goes to your subconscious, and it tells your subconscious something. It's like you look at a hieroglyphic, it's telling your subconscious a whole sentence. It's telling you a whole book. That's why people don't understand what cuneiform and all these things were and why they wrote like that. And why I always talk about visuals. I always tell people that's the quickest way to actually reprogram your mind. It's through your writing out a sigil.
Okay.
Not, I want to be great. I am a great person. I'm going to spend my life. Make the sigil. That don't got shit to do with witchcraft. And even if it did, you got a sigil on right now. You got on the FUBU pants. Did you just eat McDonald's and Wendy's? How do you think that it got into your mind to want Wendy's? Because you see the Wendy's sigil and it makes you hungry. It's the same thing with the creativity. And you know what's unfortunate about that? Because I've noticed this, you got kids. When we was kids, you had to make our asses come in the house. I got to rip the kids away from the past. I have to rip them away and make them role play on this $3,000 swing set outside. And I also noticed that their creativity level is not where it should have been. And I noticed it early, and thank God, because I'm able to spend that time with my children. But a lot of women are working women now, and they don't get to notice it. So what I noticed about my son, one day I was like, yo, let's play. He was like, well, how are we going to do that? I'm like, well, we're going to use our imagination. And he was like, well, what do you mean use your imagination? I'm like, look at that water right there. Don't you see it? You know, like, and I was telling him, like, don't get your feet wet. There obviously was no water there. But I noticed that I had to actually pull him into starting to use it. Because the more that they're on these pads with these fake visuals and all of this one, they're losing their ability to be creative. They're losing that. And I think that's why we see so much cookie cutting. I feel bad for the Instagram models that all look the same. With them hard ass hips and no bubble ass butts. Look, I got a 1990 black girl ass and I'm not ashamed. It do what it needs to do. But the whole thing is when you look at it, it's cookie cut. Look at reality, cookie cut. Look at these women, cookie cut. Look at the thugs. It's almost like a fucking manual they got. Okay, here's the thug manual. Here's your gun. Here's your bad attitude. Okay, here's your bad.
Hey, hello, JVC.
Product,
How's it going?
You know what I'm saying?
We're here trying to get this camera set up.
Like, you know, niggas can't even get creative with it no more. Matter of fact, they snitching their own self. They get on Facebook and go do a robbery. I can't get down with this crazy. I can't.
Local cities.
Oh, that's so
This generation, they don't even have creativity no more. And I think it's due to how much actual magic through not only the spell. Like when I tell people you don't even speak English, they look at me like I'm crazy. And then I go to the internet, type in this English High German. And then they look it up and they be like, oh my God. Well, then why do they tell us we talk English if we don't talk English? I was like, and I say, well, oh my God, how do I know this and you don't? Because then nobody come and tell me that. It was through my own research. And that was first to me by Dr. Kendrick Clark. When I found out he was a professor and he was like, y'all, this was science, and I didn't even have a degree. I went back to school and got my degree. I got out of college for 4 years. I went and lived at the library for like 3 years. I had a library card to eat in the hospital. Most people don't even know you can get a
How are you doing, Outlaw?
They go like, well, what do you need to ask? I say, books there you can't get at the library.
Oh, damn, that was like 10 minutes ago. My bad. My bad. I'm trying to get this camera set
This
up.
is why you're not manifesting. Didn't I tell you to read this book? Did I tell you to take your class, nigga? You don't meditate every day? Nah, that's not how this works. Like if you came to me and said, I'm having an issue.
Why are you playing games?
As far as me to tell you this is how you're going to get your enlightenment, I could give you suggestions. But the way that I do it, when my clients come to me, and I have a lot of satisfied clients. I have so many satisfied clients, I haven't even started trying to get reads off of YouTube yet.
Okay, where's
Because I
my
have all the
DID?
same there. And then when I get clients, they're so satisfied, they go tell other people. I actually started a soap line like 4 weeks ago. And I was like, yo, am I going to be able to sell these soaps? They're actually like organic and I charge them with a healing frequency. They down there sold out before I haven't even posted a picture of one on Instagram yet. I haven't tried, you know, and I mean that to say is like, yo, I'm aligning with abundance. And that's odd because I have like,
I don't know why the class ended early.
you know what I'm saying? I have like, you know, I don't get that many views. So when I first came to YouTube and I was like, wow, I want to do this like that. And Spirit is like, no, you don't. Because this is your lane and you don't need 10,000 subscribers to validate you. You don't need to be co-signed by A, B, and C to know that you're doing it the way you're supposed to be doing it. Because the truth is, even if you only reach one person, that was your goal, to reach that one person. Not millions or hundreds. We all want that, and yeah, that would be nice. Who doesn't like fucking fame and notoriety? Niggas be lying. They get on here and be like, I don't want it, and then bitch you out for an hour because you ain't fucking go sign up for their class. That shit is old. That shit is dumb as ass. I'm gonna tell you straight up to your face. I still might fuck with you, but if you're not doing it right, like yo, nah, that's not how you really should be getting down. And that's to nobody in particular. I know friends who even have private classes. I'm not trying to knock nobody, but you know, you have people who come on here all the time and be like, yo, I'm not doing it for that, bro. I'm doing it for this. I'm doing it for that. But if you actually listen to what the fuck they saying, not what they want you to think they saying, but what they saying, they actually doing it for everything. That if you gotta fucking listen. I tell people they don't really know how to break down what people are saying. I tell people all the time. People get mad when I be like, yo, I'm a psychic. They don't feel comfortable with that term. Especially other psychics, I learned that. They don't like calling themselves, well, the real ones do, the fake ones don't. They don't like calling themselves psychics because they might get a client one day and they might give a client a read. And the client says, everything you just said is wrong.
Yeah.
And that makes them feel some kind of way about
does.
it. Yeah. That shit don't faze me. Well, first of all, it never happened. It never happened, but I'm not saying it couldn't happen, but I'm saying that doesn't faze me. That don't knock me off my square because what I've learned by doing this is that you can give a client a read and they'll tell you everything is wrong that day and come back to you the next day and be like, oh, I thought about you. It's absolutely right. And I say, I know I'm right because I don't question the energy. I don't question it. When I was first on my journey, that's what actually was my limitation. I'd be like, well, I'm going to tell you this and does this resonate with you? I don't even do that shit no more. I don't give a fuck if this resonates with you. This is what it is. You can like it or whatever. You know what I mean? It don't gotta resonate with you, but you came to me for a service and this is what it is. So I learned that when I would say something like, does this resonate with you? I'm automatically putting a limitation or a restriction on myself, and I'm giving them majority use it. They came to me to give them guidance. Why am I asking you to do this resonate with you? You came to me for advice and guidance, and you said this was the issue, and I'm gonna tell you this is how it works. Whenever I also get a client, when they come to me, I let them know this is not how you do this. This is not that Kevin Bacon movie where I'm about to see a dead chick walk through the other room and she has long hair and there's water coming out her mouth. This is not all of that. Now, does it work something like that? Yeah, but it's not that. So don't have those expectations. That's another, like, people get tripped up, see, because they're coming in on some fake shit. You know what I mean? They're coming in on you're gonna have to agree with everything I say. You're gonna have to, this all has to resonate with you. Nah, some of this shit you ain't gonna like I'm about to say. Like a lot of people, I noticed another thing, being a reader, a lot of people come to you, they don't actually want the truth, they want you to tell them what they want to hear. And that's how a lot of people make their money. Like if you come to me and you just a female and you be like, yo, I can't find love. And I be like, okay, well, what's going on? Why I dated this nigga and then I dated that nigga and then I dated this nigga, and I be like, yo, well, you need to date your fucking self. and you need to balance yourself, like for real. Like this has nothing to do with what you're just pulling in what you're attracting. And you pulling it from your inside because you completely unbalanced. And because you should, like, it's like women are afraid to tell other women,
I do my work and everything.
Relationship. Because you know you don't gotta do that. Because you're not even giving yourself time to heal. And stop calling all these niggas because every time you do that, your semen is stored in your head. You're doing demons. You're sharing the aura. It's more than just sex. You're dealing with portals. You know what I mean? All of this stuff. Nobody wants to talk about because it's a hard conversation because people aren't adults to really analyze what's affecting me. Why am I perverted? It's some niggas who can't stop masturbating. I've had clients like that. And then they come to me and I say, okay, you might have a problem with this or that and you can't stop and it's affecting your relationship in extremely negative ways. And the first thing I ask them is, when you do it, it don't even make you feel better. Do it. And they don't know. How do you know? It's like, I can't control it. It doesn't make me feel better. And I say, because you're dealing with a power outside of yourself. That's actually a weaker power. This is what you as a power. But it actually goes in on it. Because it's damn pure. And it's making you feed under a false pretense. And it's actually meant to. So that's, for example, I could be a woman in a relationship. I could have the perfect life, but I need a little something extra. I let Jimmy go. So this energy makes me think I'm going to be powerful. I go get over on my nigga and go fuck this dude. But then eventually I get strung out on the side piece. And I end up destroying my family. And then I don't have the side piece. See, that's what you call energy that goes in on itself. That energy knew that was the outcome when it came to you. And it knew that because it's eating. People don't understand eating. And they always like, even somebody saying it's like, yo, I don't get that video when you're talking about the chicken and evil. And I said, well, you can raise a chicken from a bird. And the chicken can think that you're God because you're all it knows. It's the person you've seen when it came out the womb. You raised it, you feed it, you water it. It knows that's all it knows, and that you're nice to it, and that it can't live without you. And then it has an egg, and it's waiting for its baby, but you're hungry, so you pick up the egg and you feed it. And the chicken is looking at you like you eating motherfucker. Like, yo, this is God. God just ate my egg. That's the devil. That's not God. That's the devil. When you're just hungry and you eat them, and the chicken don't understand that you gotta eat to survive. You don't understand this energy eats to survive. You go, oh, that's evil. Nah, it was evil for you to allow yourself to be influenced. Nobody takes responsibility for their own shit either. We gotta understand, like, yo, if I go out in the streets and I'm doing some wild shit, nigga,
I don't know if I need this. Has been on the table.
I'm doing mad shit. There's a chance I might not come home tonight. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that's right or wrong, but you gotta factor that shit into the equation.
Yes, you gotta acknowledge it. Yes.
Nobody even wants to acknowledge it. Therefore, it's flawed from the giddy up. I'm a Taurus. I gotta look at the foundation. I'm a builder. I'm not building that shit if it don't look right.
Exactly. Well, you know, that's what I speak upon is that accountability. So, you know, you saying a lot of powerful information. This was fire. This was fire. I love your breakdown of entertainment, coming in, tainting it. But where's the taint at? You know what I'm saying? The mental. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You fucking stored it in your fucking mental. You stored it in your mental. That was a wonderful breakdown, man. You said some powerful information. And I really appreciate you. I really appreciate your time. I appreciate your help. You know what I'm saying? And I always have, and that's why I fuck with you. Our bodies are right. You know what I'm saying?
Ah, man.
Go because you said some wonderful information that I think myself and a lot of other people can resonate with, and a lot of females, I believe they are going to resonate with as well. You know what I'm saying? So I love it. So before I let you go, tell them where they can find you at Day Moon. You know what I'm saying? I've been subbed to your channel. I love it. I love your music. Hypnosis at its finest. Tell them about projects you got coming up. Tell them about everything.
Spiritual and do good, and I'd be like, oh my God, it's a vibration of it. So a lot of people, that's why, you know, so everybody, but they can find me across all platforms at NRG Day Moon.
It is really cool, right?
You know, I'm willing to help people though, even if they can't necessarily afford services, but I'm not gonna let anybody take advantage of me and just hit me up for all their personal prices. Because what people gotta understand when it comes to spirituality, I know people put a lot of readers too. I used to actually not charge. I probably did 1,000 reads before I charged for my first read. And then when a person gave me the money, I gave it back to them. They were like, no, we're taking I know there's a lot of readers go through that. And because we're pulling in an imprint from the Bible, like
some food from.
And that's true. So I will never turn nobody away. However, as above, so below. Think here, think there. You can't just give, and then get any deposits. It doesn't matter. It's a currency exchange. I had to learn that, and it's still hard for me to balance that. But I'm always available for anybody struggling and may have questions. I just don't want it to get too, you know, where they hit you up all the time. I have a couple people like that, and it's like, sometimes I'm too much on Gemini. I care about I just want to help everybody, but that's so much out of your base. You'll end up spiritually bankrupt.
I thought you were back.
So where can they find you? You got an IG?
So if you want
Yeah, my IG is
Wise.
my YouTube
You want lettuce?
my Facebook. I actually created that Facebook 3 days ago, and I don't like it. I ain't been on Facebook in a long time. I actually had to open it for music purposes and promotional purposes. So I think I even did it wrong. I thought you just printed everybody who sent your replies. I'm like, yo, this is some toxic. That's that Ouija board we were talking about earlier.
Yeah. So what projects do you got coming up? I mean, I know Ill Minds, the video is popping. That's hard right there. So what projects do you got coming up?
Yo, right now I think my favorite project is this awful book is my Wu-Tang Triumph. Okay, because I'm feeling very, very poking my chest out right now, like the head. But I'm also gonna be working on a project that should be getting picked up by Universal, which is this song called Wild Styles. But I'm really about to stop doing music. This is actually my last go at it. So when it comes to musical projects, I'm gonna do a couple more projects, and then I don't know. You can't never say never, but I'm planning on just getting more into my spirituality. I started doing tarot weeks. I really want to start teaching esoteric classes. Not even teaching, but just going on and doing kind of like what you do. But like, you know, like the Day Moon view, you do the Solanary, that kind of thing. I really want to get more into spirituality. Honestly, right now.
But you know what? I would tell you this. That I think that's a dope concept, and I think you should do that. What I would tell you this, and you know, from my advice is because you know I do music too, and that's why I'm telling you before, man. I do music for an outlet, and don't ever stop. You don't have to.
I wanted to tell you, if you don't mind, I let some people listen to your music, and they were like, "What?" I actually let like my manager, some music
when you're doing
executive,
something and they
and
want
the music
something.
executive was like, "Yo, that's radio ready. What's up?" You know, because I have a lot of contacts, and I was like, "Well, you know, we'll talk about that behind."
Yeah, we'll talk about that. But what I want to tell you, Day Moon, is don't ever stop. I don't do it to try to get a deal, or I don't try to, you know what I'm saying? Like, I do it because I love to do it, and it's an outlet for me. Just like I do this YouTube channel. It's an outlet for me. I really don't think that I'm going to be a big-ass YouTube star, and that's not my goal. That's not my intent. My intent is to do this with people like you, to understand and learn from people like you. Man. That's why I do the soul views. I learn so much from my soul views, from Kenny, from Q to you, and from whoever's going to be, you know, that's going to come to me that I need to connect with. I'm connecting with people that I need to connect with, and you're one of those people. So I appreciate you. I really do. And I'm saying, don't ever stop making music.
Okay.
Don't ever stop making the music. You just have the right intent behind it. Just do it for your creativity. Do it for your creation. But don't ever
Right.
stop.
Oh, that actually
Fuck
did
it.
it.
Don't stop. Yeah, you're good. You're good at it. Don't stop it. Fuck it. Don't stop it.
Take that. I'm literally big, a big name advertising company, and I wrote this song called "Touch Me," and it was the first time I ever had creative writer's block because it was really just something that I wasn't passionate about. But can I just say before you in this that honestly, I told you before, and I know you hate when I say this, but I don't care. I'm gonna say it anyway. You're a master teacher, and I tell you this why. I'm gonna tell you why. You're a master teacher in my eyes because of how you help me. I've come around across so many teachers. There's a way that you go about it, and you're adding something new to the process. But not to speak too much on this, but honestly, you helped me move past a lot of trauma with that upload tribute to your grandmother. And I'm gonna leave it at that. The issue that I had with that, and I gotta breathe because I don't want to have a fucking breakdown my damn self. But it helped me break through things
hell no.
So you know, it's
that's why.
That's how I'm able to identify. So I hope that you take what I say. If you think that I'm really tapped in, you gotta know. I can see waves of patterns, and I think that's what people think. You know, makes you excited. You can't see where you're gonna be in the future, but I'm telling you, you helped me tremendously even grow. So
I appreciate that. That means a lot, and I know you mean that, and I know you are tapped in. And it's just the thing for me, man, is that I feel like I am going to be a master of myself. I am the master. But as far as a master teacher, I don't want that. You know what I'm saying? I don't want
that label.
Yeah, I don't want
exactly.
that label because it's a lot that comes with that, and I don't want it. I don't care for it. They done it already. My thing is if I can become right, but if I can become Bruce Leroy, that's who I am. I'm the master, and I'm the master of myself, and then I can master my wife and my family, dog. I'm good. I don't need anything else.
You're right, and I feel like as well as me, that's what helps me get in my lane, in my zone. So you got that exactly right.
And we're doing it right. That's what I'm saying, Damon. We're doing it right, and I fuck with you. And, you know what I'm saying? And I appreciate this, and I appreciate the information that you gave today. It was very, very powerful. You know what I'm saying? Very powerful. So this is fire, and I appreciate you, man. We're gonna continue to build and continue to do your thing, man. I got much love for you and much.
The video dropping about 10 to 15 days, so look out for that.
Yes. Okay. All right. Cool. We're gonna do that. And like I said, man, I appreciate you and much love and much success to you.
You too. You as well.
All right. This is another episode of Soul View, y'all. Peace.
Bye.
Actually, look. It doesn't matter. He caught me. Robin. Did you hear that dragon scream?
Why is it doing this? Damn it.
Gabriel. Oh, I was supporting Robin and I cried. John, look. No, you're gonna wanna look. Look, actually. I'm not kidding. This is so fun. I hear every noise of Julian, actually, look, real quick. It's a draw. It's a draw.
Get out of here.
Bro, Gibble, look at this draw.
You have to go here. This one.
Julian, can you please look? Nope, there's yes. Yay!
Underneath your laptop and your coloring thing.
I'm sorry, Jimmy. You won't get hurt this time. Maybe fast. I'm sorry, Jimmy. Your daddy had to go bye-bye. I'm sorry, Lita. It's all because of me. But you're still alive. Notice how Billy.
Hey, Mike.
Notice how Billy is not.
How's it going? Sorry, I've been busy over here
Notice how nobody acts.
trying to get this camera going. I don't know why I'm having such, probably because I'm so fucking tired. Let me just stop so that I'll come back to this. I need some sleep. Thanks for being so patient, guys. I wasn't, like, seriously, the past hour I'm trying to figure out how to set up this camera. So I'm not computer literate and all this technology literate. So it's taking me forever to figure it out. On top of that, I'm tired. I got home at 4 o'clock in the morning and I slept maybe 2.5 hours, 3 hours. So I'm exhausted. So I'm going to get some rest and I'll just come back to this a little bit later. Have a good one.
I'm sorry, Billy.